And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Song 6. We're gonna let some construction happen, and then as more of the construction gets done, we'll probably start bringing in first a wave of Dondorians, so we can have a little bit more workers for our industry. And then we might actually start bringing some Amevians in the hopes that we can try to convince them to work in the live and work in the area up here. Hopefully, we don't have too many racial fights going on. Because the Amevians don't necessarily appreciate the other that is the Dondorians. Although the Dondorians don't care about the Amevians. Right, so we won't have an others problem from the Dondorians, but we'll have from the Amevians. How's the clothing going? It's slowly piling up. Okay, another fishery done. So that's another 12. That actually should feed another... What, it's 4 per worker? 3 per worker. So that 12 should feed like another 30. So we should have enough food coming in here. We can take another 60 Dondorians in. Oops, I still have planning on. Okay. Plan off. Activate those jobs. So I can get those trees harvested, because we need wood. And then, while I'm currently thinking about jobs, let's come in. Jobs. Fisheries. I set racial preferences. Where's the priority? So for the Amevians, who we don't have yet, their fishing priority is higher than normal. Master priority set to 10. I actually turn them up to max. I really want them to fish if we have them in the town. Probably don't want them to really work any other jobs at the moment. They're in the town. Okay, so we've got another 30 fishermen. We worked out that they can feed enough people, so we have enough to probably let even more in. Or let some Amevians in. I'm apparently having issue... Oh, I think I know why I'm having issues distributing clothing. We don't have any marketplaces to help distribution. That's actually an easy win, is to get some marketplaces going for that sort of distribution. This bit here along the coast front might actually be a good place to put a sort of custom marketplace in. So let's... Health, entertainment, distribution, market. Okay, so let's think about something like you. So we're not wide enough here to put double in, although I could do something like this. I can make it wide enough there to put double wide in. Okay, so I need to leave a path for them to get around behind. Okay, that's maybe not perfect, but that's it's a much better use of that space than just leaving it unused. Build a market there. We need a market for each of the neighborhoods. That is an argument that I need a market up here, so actually we're going to build another custom market. Sort of shove in the space up here. Although we got a little bit more of a sane space, I think, there. Shove it in there. Yeah, I think that'll work. And I can do a little bit less of a custom build for the neighborhood down here. Although it'll need its own marketplace. Might try to make use of this space in the middle. Yeah, that works pretty well. So I could technically shove that one in the middle Oh, I don't have that space in the middle here, so that actually works really good. And then, oh, I suppose I can just do a copy for you. We're going to want one of you up here, because whenever we bring the Amevians in, the Amevians will also, you know, need clothes. In fact, they will need it more than the Dondorians will need it to stay nice, warm, toasty in our cold, bitter winters here. At the same time, we've got plenty of extra odd jobbers. I am making a net 30 extra fiber than we need. So I'm going to translate that into... It's 2 per worker, so it's another 15 workers here. Okay, that might be a little aggressive. Yeah, that's one more than I can take. We'll go for 25 then. So 25 should outputting 2. And then the tailor, or not 2, 25 should be putting out 50. It's working, right? No, that actually predicts I can hold another 5. We'll put another 5 on there. Go up to 30. That makes the math jumping to this one a little bit easier, because it'll be 60. So 60 in, divided by 4 is 15, so I can put 15 workers on here making clothes. And well, these guys are probably going to want some closer housing, so let's actually activate the closing, or the housing network, just across the way. So activate all of you, and a bit of the road supporting it. And the torches and benches within the system. Like so. So right now we have 43 people who work in a location that do not have adequately close housing. So we're getting complaints about these guys like, oh, we don't have any place to live nearby. Well, it's a good thing I just turned that on. The fisheries over here are having a similar sort of complaint. So that's actually maybe an argument to turn or build that housing area. Oh, because of how I did it here, you did not copy and paste any of the settings, which is probably fine. Stone, wood, furniture, okay, so... with the basic industrial stuff, stone, wood, furniture, metal... What was the other one? There's a 5th one there. Pots. Pottery. And then our standard foodstuffs. fish, meat, and mushrooms. We may... Yeah, actually, I will go ahead and we'll turn on vegetables here as well, because we're thinking this is going to be the support staff for the Amevians who want vegetables. Oh, and actually allow those areas to have some laborers, otherwise they won't work very well. Okay, we have an event related to drought. As long as it doesn't affect our fisheries, we're fine, I believe. Anyway, we're gonna get like another 60 Dondorians in, and then I think we'll try to get the logistics system, the unloading and loading stations going. We should be making livestock. Although I might need to raise the livestock. I think we have livestock export set up. Yeah. No, the pull limit says you should... Oh no, that's war horses, that's the livestock. I'm not exporting livestock. Okay, so it's a little surprising that we're out of livestock completely. Could occasionally be making some. Anyway, the market should be helping with distribution of clothing. Well, that does remind me, Dondorians for goods use stone, wood, furniture, cloth, cut stone, and Sithalon. So I should go around to turn off the ones we don't use. Have clothing. Doesn't need you to have clothing to provide clothing to the locals. Oh, I can turn it off industry. That would probably work reasonably well. So 7. Yeah, furniture is on the list. No clay. Yes, yes, no. Yes, yes, yes. So pottery. I think there was no pottery. Yeah, no pottery. At least not until we bring in something like Amevians, and even the Amevians don't want pottery. Okay. Yeah, that was a quick way to do it. We may need to enable in specific things, but once we start bringing in other races. But for the moment, we're good. And that should help to keep the marketplaces focused on what our people actually need. And this is actually an argument to turn off the things I'm not supplying. So turn off, like, the stone. Actually, I will agree to that. We return everything off except for furniture. They're distributing clothing. Don't bring the rest there. We don't need the rest there yet. Oh, and that's where all my livestock was going, because they were getting nicked to go to the marketplaces. So only one of the races wants livestock. That is the Tilapia. So turn livestock off if you don't plan on having Tilapia in the town. Okay, so we've got that. Well, not completely built far enough. Let's authorize another 60 of these guys to come in. Get some odd jobbers back in the works. And then we'll try to improve the logistics. Probably need a pair of loaders, unloaders over here as well. And the main thing that's the loading stations are going to be operating is moving the fish around. Moving the fish, moving the ore, moving the things that are working, or could work in real big bulk. Maybe not doing that in the case of the ore and coal yet. Although apparently I'm significantly oversupplying coal. But not ore. For some reason. Submit to our demands, or there will be consequences. I can piss them off, or I can make them happy by giving them stuff. We'll give them stuff. At some point, we need to build up the army so that we don't have to just give into blackmail like that. Well, I think that was even the weakest of our neighbors. They're probably the ones we want to attack if we're attacking anyway. Yep, hopefully we can get the system going. We do have... We've got one unloading station, which I can tell it which items it wants to receive. So you want to receive fish. And in your case, you've got the metal smelter nearby, so we want you to unload also coal and ore. Yep, that's basically what we want imported this area. So we could technically have up to 8 set up to be imported here. We're going to set it to do those 4. The loading station, on the other hand, we're actually going to say don't fetch off the ground. Here, what are we actually making here for shipping around? We're making our furniture right now. Making furniture, we make metal. Furniture. Was it really just one furniture? One thing I can import per? Yeah, it looks like it's... I was hoping to be able to load more at a given loading station. Okay, so if that's the case, then I probably want the loading station per thing, not per area. Which means I'll actually need a second loading station up here. Fair enough. But yeah, furniture we're going to need to distribute across the place, so that makes sense. We want you to pull from the local furniture depot. If the local furniture depot is at least 20% full. There's actually an argument with this that I should really put it closer to the carpenter. Yeah, there's an argument that I should probably put it closer to the carpenter. What's the soil south? The carpenter? I stopped the carpenter for a particular reason. I did. Okay, we'll just leave it where it is for the moment. But yeah, that's going to be our carpenter one. Oh, and I can tell it to not move certain things around. Okay. Yeah, we got carpentry that gets made here, gets shipped to this one, then it gets shipped out to the loading station, which then I can ship out elsewhere. We probably need more furniture to really make that work. Wonders. We have worked out we need a second one of those, because I want one for coal, one for ore. And this is going to end up being fish. This will probably be clothing. I'll probably need to do one for wood, although we'll probably need more wood to make that worthwhile. 27 woodcutters is maybe not enough. And then we set you to automate, because you hopefully don't need that many workers on the thing. You need like one for the moment. So you automate, set you to one. If you need more, it'll turn itself back up, and it probably doesn't even need the one right now because we don't have enough furniture. Or any places to ship to at the moment. So yeah, you want fish, ore, and coal. So we'll get ore and coal from over there. You're gonna want... Well, actually, I think this is what we're gonna be using this for. We're gonna be using it to ship around the stuff, the major products, right? So you probably want to be clothing as well. Metal's made locally. Yeah, I think that's everything you want to move around for the moment to this spot. The other ones will need a little bit more because they'll be getting metal and tools in. And then we're going to automate you, and probably for the moment you can just turn you down because, you know, there's nothing to unload yet. Again, we need a lot of livestock to get that going as well. Gotta wait for the livestock to breed. Let's make sure all the warehouses should have some capacity for storage of clothing. So we got no clothing there, put some clothing in. You've got clothing. You don't have clothing and probably will need clothing, so grab some clothing. We need pots up there for the bathroom. So add some pots to that list. We probably want some tools up here at some point, because we'll probably want some tools for the mine. I suppose the loader-unloader is going to require the occasional livestock. You have a pull source, which is warehouse 2. Okay. This is the old one. You're the main central one. You're that one. Things pull from you. Or, well, nothing pulls from you yet, but you'll pull from the central one. fairly high pull limit. Don't pull if they're, let's say, under 50. Unless they're under 50. Or do I need to be more aggressive in pulling? How did I set the exports? You're set to 50. I'm actually going to up you to 75. Probably not exporting furniture anytime soon. That doesn't really matter. We're not making bread yet. You're turned off, so that's fine. You're set to export at quarter warehouse. Okay. Metal's being exported. That's fair. Let's actually put the pull limit a little higher. Because I'm going to start pulling... When I need it elsewhere, I'm going to pull from here. So we're going to set the export limit specifically on that one. 75. We'll set the priority limit to 50 because of... If the situation is this warehouse isn't at 75 because it's shipped out everywhere, whatever else is at 50, then I wouldn't mind the metal smelters delivering directly to here. And then we're actually going to put you up to 75. But again, with a 50% priority limit. The whole network's filled at 50. You can deliver directly to it, otherwise, don't. And you didn't rehire, that's good to see. You didn't rehire, which is good to see. It is slowly loading, so we are making surplus furniture, which is finding its way onto the loading station here, which we set to 25, or we actually set to 20. And then most of the pull pushes we've set fairly low. Oh, I can set you to pull from the unloading station. The unloading station has nothing right now, but it's basically set. If the unloading station has stuff, fill yourself from the loading station. Unloading station. Until you're full. And then you're kind of the local priority, so that's fine. So I can actually click you as priority. And we'll do the same on this one, so you as priority. The other unloading stations aren't built yet, so I can't tell the local warehouses to pull from their local unloading stations. Okay, so the place we've prepared for the Amevians is... Well, to the degree that it is built, it's built. Do you want law and order over... more law and order over there? Probably. We don't have particularly great coverage. And the basic guard post by itself is not too bad. Do you have the cost? Oh, I know what happened. We had tourists come in. Let's fix the tourists. So, our people don't mind Dondorians. Our people don't mind Dondorians. People don't like Amevians, so don't let them in. They don't like Plop, don't let them in. The other 4 types are fine. So that's why people aren't super happy in the case of government, because we've got disliked tourists that tanked the government level rating there. Oh, and of course the new food stall isn't upgraded, so upgrade it. Yeah, we should have enough clothing going out so that people can get into their nice warm clothing. Currently our people are only consuming about 1/5 the clothing. I'd say 1/4 the clothing. So I can probably double their clothing, give them a little bit more thermal resistance. Yeah, let's go for double clothing. And then if we bring in the Amevians, we will want them to also run double clothing. In fact, I may want to just assign them a lot of clothing to give them a bit more thermal resistance. So I'm going to go into planning mode. The Amevians are going to want some pumps to run things like or to run hydration and like their pools, for example. Don't currently have any north. They are on the river. Don't have any north of the river. And I am tempted to pull the coastline up a little bit. So we'll have a planned one there, we'll have a planned one there, and that should provide enough, at least the nearby area. Then I can take advantage of return some water. Make the fishery area a little bit bigger. Oops. Just realized that was under planning, so that's not active. Have to be careful not to activate the pump that I want to leave for later. I think that's successful. Okay. Okay, second one is done. So obviously, set the workers here to 1, just so that they can have their area pre-prepped, and auto-employ. This area is going to be specifically looking for fish and metal and furniture. I don't need ore or coal because currently we're not doing any smelting in this area. I might put fiber here if we decide we're loading the fiber. We haven't decided if we're loading that yet. Okay, so it's just those 3. That's why we only need 1 worker there, because at the moment none of those are pushed into the system. That loading isn't done. Those loading aren't done. Okay, more time pass. And I've got 1 loading station, so it probably is slowly getting full. 156, yeah. Furniture is probably something I need to expand at some point. Maybe once we start bringing in some Amevians for fishing. And that should probably wait until we've got the unloading station here and got enough clothing in the system that clothing has been delivered up here. Because the Amevians are going to need clothing. I'm not even sure how much clothing I need to give them. Because they like hot altitude or hot climate, and we're in the coldest climate they can be. So they're going to want a lot of clothes. In fact, I'm half tempted to be like, oh yeah, the Amevians access, clothes. But no, we'll be a little more conservative. We'll start with 2. Yeah, cooling access is going up, and that is providing us heat and cold resist, although our pops specifically don't really care. In this environment, they should be close enough to what they want most of the time that they don't really need the clothing. We also provided markets. Previously, we weren't providing markets because they didn't have a reason to go get anything from market. They picked clothing up from the markets, so ta-da. Yeah, probably want a loading station up by the lumber. We're going to do more lumber up here. We're going to do lumber on the island. This is why I'm not flooding the big island here. Yeah, nice, calm. Waiting for things to happen, grow and build up. I think the thing holding us up is we're waiting for livestock. All these cost livestock to build. Hopefully it isn't being consumed by the janitorial service yet. No, not yet. I should probably put a pull request on you at 50%. Yeah, we have some baseline logistics moving stuff out to the exterior warehouse. So where are you? Warehouse 3. Okay, so you're supposed to be bringing in the ore. That makes sense. 4, because you're trying to bring over clothing and such. Okay. And then the unloading station. That makes sense. And the unloading station doesn't have anything yet, so you're not actually getting anything. Okay. And positive on furniture, right? Yeah. Although I think one of them building costs furniture as well, isn't that also playing into it? Yeah, these also cost furniture. Probably the furniture's still low. One order is looking reasonably high. Our people are happy enough that we could bring more in. Our expectations are below, actually, fulfillment. Or above fulfillment, although not by much. And then we have a, one of the titles I have on is providing a happiness bonus. So we're not that much positive over expectation at the moment. Anyway, that clothing has definitely helped. From a fulfillment standpoint, there are definite diminishing returns when supplying clothing. So we don't want to go overboard unless we need the thermal resistance. So that's as far as we're going to go on the Dondorians for the moment. I don't think we got to the size where we have nobles yet. No. Noble is on and off. If you have a noble of that species, you get the bonus. So when we have a noble, we're going to want a noble assigned. We don't necessarily want to assign all of them to being Dondorian, though. Do these guys actually care about pools? Very little. And they want the fancy ones. Okay. Unlike the Amevians, who really liked their pools. The environment pool. Well, same value, but they'll take the cheap ones. They'll take the cheaper ones. And then these guys also want water access. Whereas the Dondorians don't care. Well, they care a little bit. They like a little bit of water access. Reach max fulfillment value needs to be 50%. It's at 82%. So, sufficient access to water, fresh or salt. They have. Okay, so the dislike tourist is recovering, so that's good to see. Oh, what do we need for upgrading the marketplaces? Furniture. So once the furniture recovers, and/or we build more furniture, it might make sense to pick up the upgrade for the markets. Because everyone's now visiting the markets to get their clothes. I'm odd jobber negative again, so I suspect we've got one of the loading facilities is completed. No, that's not it. Why am I so odd jobber negative? Oh, I didn't set the warehouses up to auto. Yeah, so the warehouse is up to auto, so there's a lot of motion from there. How much clothing do we have up in the warehouse here? 48. And then presumably have some in the market. Yeah, 25. Okay, let's let some Amevians in and figure out how terrible of an idea this is. Okay. So we got one very unhappy Amevian. Although his state of affairs is definitely rapidly improving now that he's gone and made use of some of the services available to him. Or her. Let's not assume their gender. So, actually, we'll let them have drink. If we got eggs, they can have eggs, fish. You don't need the meat. We'll let you do rations. So, that sort of stuff allowed to you. We got everything by default on our main people. Oh, I suppose from the food stalls... Yeah, the food stalls are fine. We'll let eggs stock. We don't have any eggs. Or actually, don't stock eggs except at that one, specifically that one. So that should, because we turned it off globally and then turned it on the one we want. Yeah, you'll stock eggs and that's it. Okay. I suppose actually the same for veg. We'll put veg there as well. So we now got 2 Amevians, who, if everything's going according to plan, should be wanting to work at a fishery. I have yet to check if they want a house yet. One of them is housed. Okay. Presumably... housed near a fishery somewhere. Both of them are housed. Okay. Third one just moved in, hasn't taken up a house, so on and so forth. Yep, next loading station. Automate, turn the worker load down to like 1 for the moment. And then you want metal and clothing. Where's the clothing? Oh, metal, fish, clothing, and furniture. I don't have any of the loading stations finished. One of the loading stations has finished. That one has finished. You are going to be loading clothing. Set to automate. Set your starting workers fairly low. We're going to have you pull from the local warehouse. If that warehouse is over 25% full. Which is the case. What did I set the other one to? Yeah, I set the other one. I set the other one to 20. So in fact, we'll turn it down a little bit. Go to 20 as well. So this should actually fill up with enough to take a trip out. Art is being prepared. Oh, and in fact, this place is so prepared it doesn't even have anyone assigned to it because there's not enough furniture coming in. Fair enough. Yeah, put 1 furniture on it. Yeah, slowly, when this guy hits 400, it'll go bring out the furniture to closest unloading station, not full of furniture. Which by sort of default will either be this one or this one. Not sure which is actually the closest one. Okay, let's send the hunters out to hunt again. Get a collection of meat from you. I think I need to expand the fishery, although that's what we've been doing here. That was prep for the fishery, wasn't it? This is a nice big fishery. There we go. 15 more jobs. Should basically make enough to feed another 30 people. It's getting a little low. Given where I actually need the wood, let's fell this forest here. Be close to where it needed. We currently have no one in the house, which is good to see. And this one is busy enough, it has taken another person to help with the loading. You can see them slowly piling the thing full of clothes. And looking at the time, I should probably go ahead and put another part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, we will have another part up tomorrow. We're going to continue recording another 5 parts tonight, so there'll be quite a bit more of the stream going on. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We're going to take a short break here so we can get up, stretch the legs, sip some tea. Actually, replace the tea, because the tea is about to disappear. Go get a new cup of tea. And then we'll be back to record more parts. It'll be another 2 parts after this sort of moderate length break before I get another tea. I basically try to grab a tea every 2 breaks and drink about half of it every break. So until the next bit, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.